Hello, my friends. Assalamu alaikum. We will talk about emotional well being today. However, let me say a few words about our true self first before I move on to the subject matter for today. My friends, we are not bodies. Rather, bodies are merely our carriers. Then what are we? In Quran's terminology, we are nufus or nafs. According to Quran's chapter 7, verse 172, these nufus entered into covenant with Allah, and as a result of that covenant or agreement, we are in this world for trial. Here is the translation of this verse. And mention when your Lord took from the children of Adam, from their loins, their descendants, and made them testify of themselves, saying to them, Am I not your Lord? They said, Yes, we have testified. Lest you should say on the day of resurrection, Indeed, we were of this unaware. My friends, it is very clear from this verse that we are nufus or souls and are in this world for a test. And the test is happening through this body. My friends, it seems that we have forgotten our true self and therefore merely fulfilling the desires of our bodies. In simple words, the driver of this body, that is we, nafs or nufus, has forgotten about itself and as a result become a victim of the body in several ways. We may call it body conscious life, whereas we were supposed to live soul conscious life so that we could have managed our body in line with our trial's requirements. My friends, before I move forward, let me also point out that emotions belong to the body, whereas values like justice, honesty, belong to our true self. We may call our true self soul, mind, or consciousness. These terms can be used interchangeably to refer to our true self. My friends, I hope we have understood what we actually are. So if you have, then let's move to the subject of today, that is emotions or emotional well-being. How can we achieve it? My friends, positive emotions have been linked with better health, longer life, and greater well-being in numerous scientific studies. On the other hand, chronic anger, worry, and hostility increase the risk of developing heart disease as people react to these feelings with raised blood pressure and stiffening of blood vessels. The experts usually say that it isn't easy to maintain a healthy, positive emotional state. My friends, this is what experts or scientists say. However, the fact is that we can control or manage our emotions very well if we live a soul-conscious life. And furthermore, if our soul is connected with God, then we can succeed in controlling our body in a much better and effective way. My friends, let me mention here that the purpose of our whole life actually is to seek and get connected with God according to Quran. Sadly, we talk about spirituality, but it seems that most of us are talking about spirituality in traditional sense, not from a conscious perspective. I will discuss this shortly. My friends, if we do anything consciously, it makes a tremendous difference. And therefore, if we apply this consciousness factor to faith or God, it can do wonders for us. And that is natural. Why? Because when we are truly connected, I mean when our soul is truly connected with its Creator, it is bound to impact our life in miraculous ways. My friends, here are some verses from Quran which can play a vital role in our life, provided, let me repeat, provided we are consciously connected with God, which means that we have discovered Him and now we are truly believers in Him. That is when the real change happens. My friends, faith is actually the conscious connection of a soul with God. Otherwise, by merely following traditional faith, we cannot achieve much. Now let's look at some of the verses in Quran. In chapter 3, verse 134, Quran states, "And those who restrain their anger and pardon people, and Allah loves the doers of good." My friends, anger is natural, but restraining it and forgiving others leads to Allah's love and inner peace. The next verse is from chapter 13, verse 28. Translation: Indeed, in the remembrance of Allah do hearts find rest. My friends, turning to Allah, that is constant remembrance of Allah, calms the hearts and reduces stress. This is a wonderful way of dealing with anxiety and worries. My friends, the next verse is from chapter 9, verse 40. Translation: Do not grieve. Indeed, Allah is with us. My friends, no matter how difficult life gets, knowing that Allah is always with us brings comfort and strength. My friends, this is a beautiful way of overcoming sadness and grief. The next verse is from chapter 2, verse 153. Translation: Indeed, Allah is with those who are patient. My friends, practicing patience or sabr helps in facing trials with resilience and trust in Allah's plan. My friends, this is a beautiful way of exercising patience in hard times, that is, by remembering this verse. The next verse is from chapter 65, verse 3. Translation: And whoever relies upon Allah, then He is sufficient for him. My friends, trusting Allah, trusting tawakkul, reliance on Allah, removes fear, worry, and insecurity. My friends, this is another wonderful way of replacing fear with trust in Allah. The next verse is from chapter 4, verse 32. Translation: Do not wish for what we have favored some over others. My friends, contentment with Allah's decree leads to inner peace and prevents jealousy. This is another wonderful way of dealing with jealousy and envy. The next verse is from chapter 94, verse 6. Translation: For indeed, with hardship comes ease. My friends, every trial comes with relief. Therefore, we should never lose hope in our Creator, Allah. This is another beautiful verse which is helpful in facing life's challenges with strength. My friends, these Quranic verses remind us to control emotions, practice patience, and find solace or peace in Allah's words. My friends, when facing emotional struggles, turning to Quran, prayer, and remembrance of Allah can transform our mental state completely. My friends, I hope it is clear by now that a sound and a conscious relationship with Allah can help us control our emotions extremely well. Thank you for listening, my friends. Assalamu alaikum.